Alright, I think I got it now. Alright, I think I got it now. Cool. Testing, testing. Alright. Yeah, I haven't done a live stream in a minute. Usually if I restart my computer and whatnot, it will change some settings and all that good stuff. So that's annoying. Let me mute that. I just got done chopping up some video, and I've been watching this guy, this Jack dude, Jack Morgan, RLP, 117K subs, big baller. But you know, he makes some pretty decent cash. And I think he gives really good advice, and something I want to do. Like, I was fortunate, you know, I spent a lot of time with my grandma. She, you know, taught me kind of how to use money and how to save it and what to buy, what not to buy. And this guy, he's freaking hilarious. He used to skateboard and he used to film skateboarding, which is right up my alley. That's kind of how I got into video making too. So, yeah, we're gonna watch his video, see what he has to say. The title is 100K a year just isn't enough anymore, and you know, I don't really agree with that. I'm also in Oklahoma, but yeah, let's check out this video. If you got some stuff to say, drop on in the chat. Go ahead and start the message line here, and yeah, let's get after it.
Maria. All right, buckle up. So there's a lot of rhetoric going around on the internet, basically saying that 100K a year just ain't it. It's just not enough. It's not cutting it. Me personally, I think it's just fine, depending on where you live. If you're in New York City, all that, we'll get to that. But for me, more than happy. I can make that work. Anyways, let's have some fun here. I recently got roasted on the internet for saying that I made, you know, I'm going to make 100K this year. As a 35-year-old man for the first time ever. Maybe I didn't say it in those words, but man, I just got bashed. Anyways, we're going to have some fun. We'll dive into some of those comments.
So he got bashed. He made a video not too long ago, and I think he said it in a few videos in a row, but like for the first time in his life, he's going to make 100 grand. And he's a 35-year-old dude. So, I mean, that's a lot of money. That's really good. If you're making that, you're probably doing halfway decent, especially just a single person's income.
Millennials are realizing this. When you arrive at six figures, it's not what we thought of back in the 90s, early 2000s growing up. 100K was it. 100K meant something in our bones and our soul. I remember talking to the guidance counselor, talking to friends. We're going to make six figures one day. We're going to have it all. We're going to do it. And then you arrive at six figures in 2023, and if you live in the city, you realize it is just enough to get by. And when you think about having kids, this is what me and my wife are thinking about. We're 35 and 36 years old. So if we want to have kids, we got to get after this pretty soon. But
just to cut in, he's not tripping. I used to think it was like the pinnacle, you know? I mean, honestly, I just wanted to do something like this for a living, or like skateboarding or something kind of creative, you know? Just be out there, just kind of making money off of, you know, having fun. Exactly. But yeah, it's true. It's kind of funny, actually.
She has a great job. I have a great job. We both work.
It's actually, all right.
60 hours a week with our side hustles included. And I make six figures. But if my wife were to quit her job and we had a kid and stayed home, I wouldn't be able to afford the kid, our life, and the house. So we're having to make these decisions. But then we think, well, if my wife keeps working, takes a little time off, we'll plan for that. But then if we're going to have daycare, I'm seeing some of the daycare prices I would have never imagined.
Yeah, I'm to the point in my life, lots of people are just now having their first baby, and thankfully, I think all of them have jobs, if not almost all of them have jobs. Childcare is expensive. If you don't have grandma and grandpa around, you're going to be paying out the wazoo for someone to watch that kid.
Let alone thinking of the crib and the monitor and all this kind of stuff. But I think a lot of millennials are probably having the same conversation. Me and my
Yeah, whenever I have a kid, no diapers, nothing. Just tile floor, I'll mop it up. Kid can come snuggle with me. The little Brussels sprout, little Guggenheimer up in the bed with us.
Little Brussels sprout.
You gotta cut corners around here. Anyway, that's what I was thinking.
That's exactly true. You got to cut corners, especially in America.
Wife are having, where it's kind of sad to have to decide of, we're on a roll. We're doing great for our savings, investing, and career. We want to bring a kid along, but it's like, we're like, are we going to be able to do it all?
My big concern is, here's a comment, right? I'm not going to put all the negative one, but I got a lot of nasty just, fuck you, dude. You're rich. Just kind of crazy. And I'm like, whoa, dude, like, I wish I was rich. I don't mean rich for vanity either. I just mean just practicality.
Yeah.
You know, living in America.
If
You know,
you're not
anywhere in the
worrying-
West, basically.
If you're not having to worry about stuff, then your life is going to be 10 times better.
We've been priced out, regular people. I've been making 50 to 70 grand for the last 10 years. And I always had to have roommates.
Which is great. 50 grand, 70 grand, that's a lot of money. Most people out of college starting jobs, you're looking at 35 to 45. You can stay at one. If you can take staying at the same place 3 to 5 years, you might get bumped up 50, 55.
You know, I even at one point, because I'm so crazy, I want to own my own business, I rented out my room. I slept on my own couch in my own house so that I could work a little less. Dude, at 33, I did this. 32. You know, some people would call that a loser. You know, so now I'm like, oh, I've reached, doing this for a living. And I was like, I'm going to make 100K. And it's like, fuck you. Anyways, this is a really important comment here. Set the tone. Because I do care about people. And this is affecting everybody here. He goes, I've watched a bunch of your videos and I can't tell what side you are on. On one hand, you are a hard worker, in your words. No clue what you do for six figures, but you say you work hard. Yeah, basically I do YouTube, okay? Consulting stuff. I'm now selling t-shirts, although I'm not the best businessman. I should have been selling these a year ago. I just started selling, just put them out. Like,
Do I need to make some merch? Some Jeff Robe merch? Is that what we need out here? Maybe I need to make some merch, dude. I might need to make a little side note.
a week or two ago. Okay, I have a Patreon. Okay, I'm doing these brand deals. I'm working with small businesses.
I charge $1.
Today's video is actually sponsored by McKeb's Bagel and Deli. It's my local spot that I go to on a daily basis. Family-run business. Okay, they got one in West Palm and one in Royal Palm Beach. You could also check out their app where they got the awesome breakfast sandwiches. Everything's made in-house. I go to the one in West Palm right off of Okeechobee Military, right across the street from the Taco Bell. Just ignore all the other fast food places and support local. You could use their app. You could just go on there, ding, order your stuff, and just pick it up. You could even call in your orders if you want, if you don't want to wait in line. Go in there, mention my name, just say Jack sent me, and they'll give you a free soft drink or a basic coffee. Okay, they do have lattes and all that stuff, but support local. And if you don't live in Florida, start going to a local spot. Or don't. I really don't care. I'm just kidding. Support McKeb's. Okay. So yeah, like maybe right now it might not seem like I'm working that hard. And to be fair, I'm not, compared to the last decade of my life where I had to work 2 jobs and then come and do this for free, or all my skateboarding content that I've been doing my whole life with this camera. I used to, real quick, this is kind of funny. I have a box full of these. I got a box full of these, but these are from tapes. I used to film on tapes, right?
That is badass. I wish I still had my hooligan just skateboarding with the homies, because we had a video camera kind of like that one too, and it was actually my buddy Chris's. He lived a street over from me, but I mean, we would just get together and we just skate around and film what we could.
Here, Nose Grind 180. This is 2005. Okay. This is my boy Elon. It's probably 2006.
Damn.
You know, I've been putting out content a long time.
That's about the time we would have been doing it.
You know,
2006. I would have been in 6th grade. So yeah, I've been about 12, 13, 14.
this job that I'm doing now wasn't just like, yeah, you start tomorrow, $25 an hour, and then you work your way up to 100 grand a year. How's that sound, Junior?
Fuck that.
That's really not how it works. But this guy's comment's important here. So, you know, work can be mental and physical, and both for the most part, if you really want to make it. He goes, okay, so you say you...
And before I left, my job was private security. I was having to fight drunks and meth heads and stuff. It was very stressful. It was physically stressing. It was mentally stressing. Any given shift, you have 2 or 3 adrenaline dumps. You get off after your 8, 10, 12-hour shift, and you're just sitting in the car like, damn, dude, I got to come back tomorrow. Like,
work hard,
man.
So I'll agree with your mindset. The only way to make it right now is to work hard. So I do, and I don't stop. I save every penny, but we are still struggling. He goes, blue-collar tradesman working 3 jobs. One's even in government. Don't even bother asking me the hours because I cannot put numbers on it. But it is negatively affecting my body and not sustainable long-term. Yeah, that's not cool. You shouldn't have to do that. I agree. On that same side, he goes, you seem to be okay with all of this, like it was always reality. No, I'm not cool with it. It's not cool at all. I don't like it. And I don't think it's sustainable. We'll get to that. He goes, I'm not sure, man. Everyone is treading their own water, but I cannot see how you struggle with what you make and be empathetic to people busting their balls. Oh, my God, dude. It's cool. It's a perspective. I get it. You just come on here. You see me. You don't know my life. I don't know your life. You know what I mean? You don't know. I have no idea. He goes, respect for the old car and the working mindset, but humans need to sleep too. Okay, so this all started because I said that I'm not going to do car payments because it's just not practical. I'd rather drive a old car that I got for $10,000, call it a day, cheap insurance, and I said I'm making 6 figures now. And by 6 figures I meant $100K. After after taxes around there. All right? So yes, $100K I used to think was like the pinnacle. I should be driving a really cool car, or not like a 40-year-old car that I got for $9,000. You get my point? And yeah, how long do we sustain this is my point, because $100K has become the new kind of benchmark to be comfortable. And I am comfortable. But here's what I struggle with. The fact that everybody in my life, my cousin dangling from buildings, putting in windows, and then he has to have a second job on the weekends. Or my best friend, basically my brother with his wife and his kid, who's got to work 60, 70 hours a week as a machinist. How long could he do that for? How long? And then how long do I have to sustain making this money is the whole fucking point of why I'm saying I keep my bills so low. Okay? All right, cool. Now, we're really going to dig here because I got roasted. I'm not going to put the negative ones in here, but I was like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, good God. Like, I've just been rich my whole life. I'm like, chill out, you know?
15 to 18% of U.S. adults earn more than $100,000 a year.
Oh, if that was the case, I would tell you. Okay. This one goes, according to Google, 15 to 18% of U.S. adults earn more than $100,000 a year. Okay, so basically, call it 80, 85% of the population. This is kind of the new benchmark is what I'm trying to say. All right, you would think 70 grand a year is enough. I would hope so, but let's hear it from this guy. Just watch how he says this. Just real quick, pay attention.
Voting for Donald Trump because in 2017, 2018, I only make 70 grand a year. I was way better off. I have student debt. I make 70 grand a year. I thought that was going to get forgiven.
No. Why would they forgive you of student loans? And if I didn't play sports, I probably wouldn't have went to college. And if I did go to college, I definitely would have worked to pay all that stuff off. while I'm in college. Because if you're taking out loans to pay rent and to party, then you don't need to be in college, dude.
Okay, student debt aside, whatever. The point is you should be cool making 70 grand a year.
Yeah.
Anybody in here agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Like, I'm fine making 50 grand a year doing this. I'm totally cool with that. The only problem is I'm probably going to be living check to check. And I don't have car payments. I don't have these huge bills. I have the basics. I do live in South Florida. Live in a townhome. I have the basics. And I would need a minimum 50 grand a year. And that's like paycheck to paycheck. God forbid I need to fix anything. Or a hiccup happens. Oh, good luck. So yeah, I do care. I do, because I don't want to have to hold this up myself, and I'm actually considering leaving America or going somewhere in the middle of nowhere. We'll get to that point though. Right here, $100,000 a year salary can be enough to live comfortably in most parts of the United States, but it depends on several factors. Yeah, if you're a single cat, you should be fine. Living in San Francisco, California, New York, good luck with that.
Nope.
But
and if you were born in those areas, and I get it if your family's there, but at some point you got to drink the Kool-Aid, man. You got to realize I got to get the hell out of here, especially if you're not getting grandfathered into these jobs that are paying $400,000, $500,000. If you are, that's great. That's awesome. But that wasn't me.
Personal opinion, you hear about these people making six figures living paycheck to paycheck.
Why?
Unless you got a family, that's on you, Big Daddy. And I come on here and I'm preaching. I'm like, yeah. And it's because I'm trying to say, like, hey, I'm on the side of the field where it's like, keep your bills low. Like, don't get fancy here. I'm not saying don't treat yourself. That's just how I look at life. You can do whatever you want. All right? But I'm not going to get caught getting my bills all the way to the fucking moon. All right? And then lose my job, which has happened before. Anyways, this is like the side of people leaving America. And then we'll get into like other options after this. But this is something I've really been considering here.
Left America, and I'm never coming back. This should be interesting.
The reasons why I chose to leave America, and I don't plan on returning anytime soon. Right now, we are in Thailand.
Hey.
Pattaya to be Pacific, because the quality of life in America is absolutely abysmal now. You cannot live in America. Inflation is way too high. From the state I'm from, New Jersey, rent runs you, especially northern New Jersey, rent is going to be plus $2,000. Now, let's think about that for a second. The median income in America is about $45,000 to $50,000 a year. Now, how can people...
Which is normal. You got a two-person household, and you guys are both making 40 grand. As long as you're not in New York, California, LA, San Francisco, you're going to be fine.
Afford to spend half of their annual income. We're not even including taxes yet. They're spending half of their annual income in rent. And then we're not even factoring in food, electricity.
Yeah, it gets crazy. I was paying $2,600 a month for my place in Phoenix. And during the summer months, because obviously you got to run your AC or else you'll melt to death when it's 120 degrees for 10, 15 days in a row. Your monthly bill on utilities was $500+ for a couple of months. On top of the...
I think my highest one usually in the summer is like around $195.
$2,600. And that doesn't count the car payments and the gas. And the, like what he's saying, all the other amenities that you spend. And bro, we're not going outside balling at restaurants because
it can add up quick. You guys know the math. Like, just to break it down, just my basic house, I have no car payment, just my basic bills, I'm looking at $35,000. $35,000 a year, not including food. Just basic, regular life bills. I've gotten rid of everything else that I don't need.
I hope his rent's included in that. I'm pretty sure he means his rent's included as well.
Okay? So, that's what I'm trying to say here. God forbid there's a hiccup. Let's not forget about having any fun or food or sex. Okay? I'm not saying I pay for sex. I'm just saying women cost a lot. All right? And I don't have a woman problem. I have a girlfriend, okay? So that's my choice. I want a family. God forbid I want a kid. Good luck with that. But this is kind of what I said here, right here. This guy goes, I make 6 figures and drive a 30-year-old Toyota Corolla. I sleep well at night. Well, fuck you, dude, asshole. This is all I'm saying. Is I'm like, this is like, to me, this is normal. Like, I'm just trying to be, call it an inspiration. But here's one of those nasty comments right here. This one was not as bad as most of them, but this guy goes, funny you flaunt 6 figures. It's like, okay, how do you make that money? By telling people day in and day out their lives suck, despite the fact that most of the suckage has been a part of adult life for decades. This is a grift. Loser. Your uncle's gay. It's like, what, dude? I never said your life sucked at all. I'm just saying that if you're making $100,000 a year, you should be able to afford a house. I typed it in. It goes, well, you could afford a $350 home, a $350,000 house.
These are all...
No, you can't. Every house costs $400,000, so you can't even do that with $100,000. And then back to the trades.
That's pretty true. There's houses for sale around me in Oklahoma that are $250,000, but me going to the bank as an unmarried single guy, even with a good paying job, they're not going to give me the loan. Or if they do give it to me, it's going to be a 30-year mortgage. Like, dude, I don't want to be tied down to the same spot for 30 years. Like, no, dude.
Who's making $70,000 a year? You should be fine. Like, seriously. Some jamoke here on the internet made $100,000 in a year with no skills, according to you. Good. Then if you're a skilled tradesman, you should be richer than me and richer than you.
It's got a point. That's a pretty good point.
Well, your current self. Okay? That's not my fault. If you've been in the trades for 5 to 10 years, you should be fucking chilling. That's on you. This shit right here, I've been doing forever. Took me forever. I did it for free. For free. With nasty comments, I'm talking eyeballs rolled at me. The most judgment you've ever seen in your life. That's the trade-off with this. It's not always fun. I'm putting myself out there on the line. And my job is very volatile, if you would call it. Okay? So, if anything, you should look at me and go, that idiot can do it. You certainly should be able to. But here's the other side of the fence, right? People not wanting to work or like work less, which I agree. We shouldn't be living to work. This is more going in the middle of nowhere in America, rural living. But pay attention to what this guy says. This is important.
I want to do the rural living thing eventually.
All the things that I did that allowed me to quit my job. Number one is I relocated to a small town in the middle of nowhere in Alabama. Just for context, I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia for 10 years. Secondly, I got rid of my car note. So I stopped paying my car. They repoed it. In the meanwhile, I saved my payment money and bought a used car. I now drive a 2008 Toyota Prius.
Yeah, but if you're financing a car, you can't just repo it and the payment goes away. That's not how that works. I mean,
I stopped spending money altogether. I only buy the bare minimum and live below my means. We're talking just food. I don't take vacations or travel. That's just not worth it for me at this point in my life. I only cook food at home. I do not eat out. This was not something I did quickly. This took years.
I try to eat at home 5 days a week. And then if my buddies want to go out, we'll go out.
Years of preparation.
Because this took me years of preparation. Yeah, it took me years of preparation to do the opposite of that guy. You know, I'm not trying not to work. You know, I do enjoy doing something with my life. Like something, you know. Not just sit around and do nothing, all right? I'm sure he doesn't just do nothing. But that's kind of like our options right now. It's kind of like live as if you make nothing and try and make a lot of money. Live in your van, leave America and make American dollars. Which is something I've really been thinking about. Or I'm thinking about, you know, going rural. Still doing this. Okay? I don't like the fact that I have to fucking go, oh my God, am I going to have to, like, perform at this level? And I don't mean just YouTube. Think about it. Like, are you going to have to perform at this level forever? Yeah. Anyways, this dude goes, these comments aren't like super nasty. These ones are more some ones that I really liked, kind of their perspective on them. This guy goes, it comes down to your lifestyle choices. My life is evidence that because I live on $10,000 a year, you got to commend it. Like, how do you pull that off? I live on 3 acres. I have 2 vehicles, 100% debt free. All of my needs. I don't even utilize the land and make anything off of the land at all. These talking heads that have always had money would never be able to tell you how to live on the most minimal income. As far as I'm concerned, if they can't do that, they should probably remain silent. Okay? It is easy to tell people what they are to be making and what they should have when you're sitting on a television or radio with contracts making 6 figures. Okay, dude, 100 grand, whatever. Right? 6 figures is real loose here. Or you were born into money. This guy goes, I've lost everything to the point of being homeless multiple times and still pulled myself up with nothing. Okay, you sound just like every rich guy who says, I made it out the dirt with nothing. Okay, the difference between me and them is I don't worship money and found peace of mind is more valuable. Holy fuck, dude. Like, I get it. You guys have a perceived notion of me. I understand. I get it. You look at me and you go, he's got it made. Or, you know, he's white with blue eyes. He must be fucking King Tut's cousin.
Wish I had blue eyes, man. Damn it.
Johnny Tut. I'm not saying everybody thinks that way, but like, we'll get into it in a second. Here's some questions just in case. This guy might have been a little sarcastic, but it goes, does Jack work for Google? Yeah, Google owns YouTube. Does Jack make 6 figures? This year, yes, I will make about 100 grand. Did Jack ever live in his car? Yes, I did. When I lost my job in my apartment and everything, you know, I did live in my car for 3 months. It was terrible. And the only reason I did that was to pay for my dad so he could have a roof over his head. So I don't know anything about losing at all. Did Jack ever inherit a house? Yes, when my mother died, when I was 30 years old, and my dad's brain dead, so no parents. And this came with a huge bill on it for a townhome. And the lawyers wanted all this money, and everybody was suing me for the house, including family. And I had to spend a bunch of money that I didn't even barely have to keep the house. Does Jack work 7 days a week? Not.
Damn, that sucks. Especially like, I mean, if it was your parents, and especially like you got to pay like death tax too, or like if you inherit a bunch of money from a relative, even though like you could just transfer it bank account, like if you don't do it beforehand and they're dead to access the accounts, you're gonna like have to pay taxes on it. It's
not anymore, but
up.
I did for basically ever. It felt like, actually, some weeks I work 7 days a week. Now, here's something about losing everything. Right, just to paint you some perspective. This is like life's not a competition. Just to give you, maybe this will make you feel better. All right, when you look at me, the judgment, right? Okay, you go, oh, he had it all made. No, my parents probably made 100 grand a year, maybe a little more back when this is 1990. They were living fucking good, dude. Life was sweet. I went to private school, not an expensive private school, but I went to private school, and we grew up in a townhome. Okay, but they were chilling, triple chilling, until they weren't. Okay, so on my 19th birthday, which was around 2009, when everything hit the fan with the housing crisis, my dad lost it all and started doing hardcore drugs. Well, he was doing drugs for a while, but it got bad. Okay, they split up. We lost the house. And my dad comes up to me around my 19th birthday and says, Jack, I know you have some money because you work hard. I need $1,200 or I'm going to be living in my van. I was like, $1,200? He's like, yeah, I'm going to get a trailer in a trailer park. Yeah.
I didn't have $1,200 at 19.
Yeah, this is my 19th birthday here. Then my mom, who is my rock, has to go live on her own and be a single person, okay? And go from a nice home to a little fucking chateau chuchote, okay? All right? So
I wonder what's up with like the mold on the photo. I wonder if that happened when he was living out of his car or something, and that's like one of the ones he kept. You can see him he's like filming it in his tank top.
Oh, I went from having a comfy, cozy life to, boop, everything's gone. And then guess what? I thought it was just one time paying for my dad. No, I paid for him for the next 15 years. And I finally got him into a home. He's got really bad dementia. I've wiped his fucking ass. And then my mom dies at 30. So now I have no parents, right? So I have no backup. I'm not bitching about this. I'm just letting you know everybody goes through different struggles, right? So, for instance, every week I get this guy into a shower and I wash him with a sponge on a stick. And then I bend him over and I get all the shit out of his ass because his favorite thing to do is shit his pants. Now, I'm not outing my parents because he doesn't know. He won't even remember. If he met you, he won't even know. He thinks he lives in Chicago. We live in Florida. He doesn't know what year it is. His answer is, why would I need to know that? So everybody's struggles are a little bit different, okay? But when it comes to losing everything, maybe I do have a fear of that. Maybe I do. Okay? And I don't have backup. Like this guy goes, I make a six-figure income and I rent for my parents. Good luck, everybody. I am done with the rat race. Yeah, I don't want to be in the part of the rat race. That's why I agree with a lot of these people. Why I still live with my parents at 34 years old. I don't know. It's comforting. I mean, knowing you don't have to, spend all...
I haven't lived at home since I was 18, but 5 of those years, I graduated high school at 17. I turned 18 June before my freshman year of college. But I played sports. I got tuition paid for. I got my books paid for. But my parent, there's still money that has to be spent unless you're going to live at home and go to school. But my school was 4.5 hours away from home. So my parents, thankfully, they were able to pay for my room and board.
All this money all the fucking time. Maybe it's nice having a little company. My life hasn't always been... It's been good, don't get me wrong. But there's been points where it's like, dude... Mm-hmm. Help! Real quick, I've got to pop in. Speaking of help, you know what a Make-A-Wish is? Congratulations, you're probably gonna die. Well, that was my 18th birthday. Yeah. From 17 to 18, it was a whole year of just in the hospital. Dude's probably not gonna make it. I just had to throw that in there. The competition of who's struggling harder is just kind of funny. I'm not saying you don't know what it's like to struggle. I'm saying everybody goes through their own things. And point is, I get it. Anyways, back to the thing. All right. But speaking about YouTube, right? This dude had a huge YouTube channel, 250,000 followers. He was making some money. Okay. But this is something, too. Just like any other job, this is something I worry about because this guy lost his whole channel, which means he lost his income. Okay. But pay attention to the difference.
And that's happened to me twice. That's why you can't really rely on this thing as being your full time. Not only does it not have retirement and health insurance, but Google has the power to just clap your stuff anytime they want. And it's happened to me twice. Lost 2 Instagrams too.
Difference between what he says and what I'm saying.
It might be, going up and down. Your life might be down. You might be taking losses and you might be like, damn, I can't win for nothing. I can't win for nothing, but just to let you know, nigga, I'm going through the same shit. Finesse is going through the same shit, or even not worse, nigga. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? My bills are like $10K a month. $10K a month, bro. And shit, I don't know how much your bills is, but $10,000 is a big chunk.
Break it.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm trying not to do. Okay. So I don't try and take this too personal. People attack me in the comment section. But I don't know if you guys know basic math, but 10 grand a month is 120,000 a year. Okay. So his bills are more than I will make. And statistically speaking, 80% of everybody will make this year. But right there, it could be lost. So when I harp on car payments and big bills and all this shit, maybe it's because I come from a place of actually losing everything. From my mom and dad losing it all to me personally, my own self losing it all. There's one point I was making 65 grand a year as a bartender, and I raised my bills up to $3 grand a month, flat base, which isn't too bad, but I lost my job and I went down to making 40 grand a year. Then I lost my apartment. And things crumbled really quick. Okay, and I did have a car payment, and I did have unnecessary spending habits. I know it's a small ratio, but it's all the same thing as it gets bigger. Okay, so if I'm making $8,000 a month and I raise my bills up to $5,000 a month, if I lose that $8,000 a month and now I go back down and make a $5,000 a month, I'm bend over. You're screwed. Before we jump into this guy, back to the overseas stuff, but I'll leave a link to all these YouTube channels down below. But in this video, this guy comes to a realization of, why do I need all this stuff? Why does he want all this? And he was talking about when he was overseas recently, he was way happier with less. So that's kind of the point of this story, is this is how I live my life. I'm sorry that if I'm transparent and I say, hey guys, thanks for everybody watching me and supporting and all this stuff, I'm going to make $100,000. I apologize. I didn't mean to offend anybody. Okay. It's not like you're out here flaunting this money. I'm like, whoa, dude, I drive a 20-year-old car, like settled down. Okay. Like, Jesus Christ. The whole moral of the story is a man with no bills is a rich man. Make all the money you want. But I've been preaching this since the get-go. All right? We all go through some shit. Anyways, back to Legion of Men. But just something to think about here. Good God.
Big chunk.
Break it down.
Nailed it.
America is a business. And your status symbol is your income. That's why when you meet people, or people always saying, oh, I make six figures, I make high six figures. But you never hear people saying stuff like, I'm really enjoying my life right now. I'm really happy. You can make a bunch of money in America. That is true. But at what sacrifice does it come making that money?
See how he was saying that? If I sounded like that when he was saying the six figures, I apologize. Okay, I'm conditioned to say that word. I don't mean to say it like, oh, I'm so successful. It's like, chill out, all right? I didn't mean, it's okay, all right? But I agree with exactly what he said. So the gentleman's comment in the beginning about having no time, that's impacting me too, because what's the point of me doing anything when I have nobody to spend it with? All my friends are too busy, you guessed it, working. You see what I'm saying? The only person I see is my girlfriend because we live together, my lady.
And you really start feeling that about 24, 25, 26, especially if your buddies get married. Like, dude, I don't really see my friends unless like we all meet up and it's like a birthday party, a wedding, or a funeral.
And thank God we're like best friends. Okay? Because all my other friends, everybody, they're too fucking busy working. So I agree with that. All right? I'm on the side. Whatever.
I feel like back in America, we sacrifice our life for a carrot at the end of the road, which is retirement.
No, it's even worse than that. It's the hedonism and the consumerism, the materialism, all wrapped into some demonic bullshit. We don't even wait for the carrot at 65. People are literally living for that car, that jewelry, those new shoes, that new bag, the new video game, the new whatever that they can get their hands on. It's like, it's not even keeping up with the Joneses in terms of the old school American dream. It's metastasized into something much worse, much more short-sighted. It's insane how much Americans are coping with and living through day to day, that mediocrity, the grind, through their material possessions. Like, it's all worth it. I'm throwing my life away, grinding and working for nothing. No light at the end of the tunnel. But as long as I have my trinkets, it's okay. Watch out. Only Americans really speak this way. Oh, dude, my 30s, they go by in a flash. 40s, even faster. One day you'll wake up 50. Where the fuck did 20, 30 years go? People overseas don't talk like that. Life's a little bit slower. Family matters. Connections matter. Experiences matter. Relationships matter. But in the West, it's the complete reversal. We throw away all that stuff because we rather be rich in material possessions than rich in people and connections and family. We're poor when it comes to these other countries and connections and family. We're absolutely dead broke in the United States in those. But we're rich in material wealth. And material wealth doesn't bring you happiness past the surface level. That new trinket will only keep you happy for so long. And in the rest of the world, they're poor in material health, but rich in connections and family. And so that...
Yep.
But this is where it's at. It's like, I'm considering leaving America, which means leaving all my friends and family behind. Then I don't have anything of what that guy was talking about. I mean, you could rebuild, you build your own family, sure. Awesome. Yes. Or move to the woods and do the same fucking concept. Just be alone. Moral of the story is I don't like the way things are going and how long. You're right, the guy in the beginning, how long does this last? How long does 60K a year not cutting it last? How long does 100 grand a year is the new benchmark to make it sustainable? How long? This is something I struggle with. You want to talk about struggling? It's a mental battle too. Okay? Forget the physical shit. If you're doing physical manual labor, thank you, but what's the point? What's the point? If you're not making money. If you're a tradesman, you should be killing it. Okay? You should be making more money than me. I agree with you. Okay? But you need to ask yourself why you're not. See? You like how I gaslit you? I'm not saying that. You should ask yourself. You're the problem. Point is I don't know how long we can sustain that. Okay? That's all I'm trying to fucking say. All right? And what I'm doing here, I don't know how long this is going to last. All right? And I'm saving every fucking dollar I can. And I'm doing the best I can. And I apologize if I offended you. I don't even know you. Anyways, end on a positive note. This is funny. Even free money isn't working out for people. We're going to end on a couple of funnies here.
Food stamp recipients. Do y'all notice how the price of food is going all the way up, but they not giving out no more stamps to supplement that? Like, get cut. Like, what is going on? Do y'all want us to starve? Y'all want the kids to starve? Like, what's going on?
Even free money ain't working. It's classic. This is rich right here. Drug overdoses. This is the upside of having a bad economy.
Drug overdoses are down nationally, and officials are wondering what's working. This is actually an indication of how terrible the economy is. People cannot afford the quantities of drugs needed to overdose. Overdose deaths have fallen for 6 months straight.
Classic. Anyways, you guys leave your thoughts. I don't like it. And I don't think everybody should have to work 7 days a week. Okay, I'm not saying be a pussy and don't work hard. Whatever, man. I'm just saying, I've already said it all. Anyways, I appreciate everyone being here. Thanks to everybody who bought a shirt. I got those shipping out today. We're doing the live streams again on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Got the second channel. Yeah. Anyways, here's to the new normal. God, that was fun.
So that was a really good video. I've only been watching this guy probably less than a month. He got in my recommendeds. I'm a huge fan of him. I kind of watched some similar stuff to him, but I hadn't found his channel till recently. But yeah, pretty crazy. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.